I will go ahead and start. A very exciting morning. I am thrilled for this day to be happening, kicking off this project. So I'm Steve Betts. I am a strategic real estate advisor to Concord Wilshire. Have had the pleasure of working on this project for the last year and a half now with my friends Steve Schrang and Nate Schrang and the ownership group who have very, very carefully sort of put this project together now for the last year and a half. But with projects like this, with these mall redevelopment projects, and I have had the opportunity, let's say, to do a previous one with Park Central, it's not for the faint of heart. These are very, very difficult projects, and they don't happen without a true partnership with the city. And on this project, we have a true partnership with our city of Phoenix, and it doesn't happen without true leadership from the top. And so, without further ado, we're going to have three speakers from the city talk to us a little bit about this project and what we're going to do today. And of course, it comes from the very top because we had huge support and leadership from the mayor of Phoenix. So, Mayor Kate Gallego doesn't need a whole lot of introduction. I said I would say a few nice things, but look, I have been around the city way too long, and I've known way too many mayors, and many of them are very, very good friends. But Kate is a very good friend, and she has been a terrific, awesome mayor, and I'm hopeful that we're going to have her here for a long time because she has done incredible things that Chris Anderson and I will talk about a little bit later on the program. But Mayor, can you please come up?
Thank you so much, Steve. It has been wonderful to work with you. The team of Steve and Chris Mackey and our Planning and Development Department have become nationally recognized partners in redeveloping malls. We are getting attention from all over the country for great projects like this. This one is very special. Today is a bit of a walk down memory lane, incredible memories from this building, but an incredible future to come. Metrocenter first welcomed patrons in 1973, so we are looking at nearly 50 years. This event marks the commencement of Metrocenter's mall's redevelopment and the ensuing revitalization of the Metro District. The project will have over 2,600 multifamily units, beautiful bike paths, retail stores, restaurants, bars, and a wonderful park. This redevelopment affirms our commitment to transit-oriented development and accompanies the city's new light rail station. Yesterday, I joined Councilwoman Ann O'Brien, who represents this area, in voting to name the transit center after Councilwoman Thelda Williams, who represented this area and worked so hard for the project that we celebrate today. Steve and team, you are moving forward on a vision of a lot of constituents, and on behalf of all the elected officials who have represented the area, we are excited to see this redevelopment rise. It'll be a new urban village with over 64 acres and an investment of over $850 million. It will be connected to our city with multiple modes of transportation, including great freeway access as well as the light rail, which will connect to downtown Phoenix, ASU, the airport, and the East Valley. Our partners at Concord Wilshire know how important the light rail is as part of the project, and we have appreciated their partnership in this area. I want to thank all of the city staff involved in bringing this transformational project to Phoenix. Thank you to Chris Mackey and the Community and Economic Development Department, who worked so hard to make sure the deal was possible. So I want to thank Alan Stevenson, Josh Bednarik, and our planning team who worked to make sure that we had the right tools. Phoenix has a unique tool with PUD development that helps this type of complex project move forward, and that's part of the reason Phoenix has been successful with these redevelopments, but it's also having the right private sector partners, and you'll hear a little bit more about that soon. I am excited to welcome the biggest champion for this area and the Metro District, Councilwoman Ann O'Brien, who has been listening to her constituents and helping make sure this is a project worthy of the great memories and history of this site, which it is. Welcome, Ann O'Brien.
you so much, Mayor. As the first major mall in the region, this is truly the end of an era, and I'm excited to bring new life to the Metro District. Metrocenter was just more than just a mall. It was a place for families to gather for the holidays, friends to share movies with, and a true regional destination. I'm sure many of us here have their own Metrocenter mall memories, just like I do. It was the place to hang out with my friends, shop for my family, but this development will create a space that welcomes our families to a place to make new memories. The revitalization of this space will include pet-friendly parks, green space, and an amphitheater that will attract people, generate economic development, and create jobs, turning it into a true regional destination. This project marks an important step in achieving the city's goals under the North Mountain Redevelopment Plan, which has made revitalization of the Metro District a priority. Concord-Wilshire's planned investment will serve as an important economic development engine for this part of our city. We expect the project will lead to further redevelopment and investment in the surrounding area. Cannot tell you how excited my community is for this development. Every time I see them, and I see them many times throughout the month, they want an update. So they will be very excited to know that the demolition email arrived today and that by the end of summer, demolition will begin. So that's very exciting. Looking into the future, this long-awaited investment is a big step for our community and for the residents of District 1. So I'd like to now welcome the biggest champion of making sure this project got done, and Economic Development Director Chris Mackey, who I'd like to have entirely to my own.
Oh my goodness, I think about, we all have history, as Councilman said, in Metrocenter. I'm going to totally date myself, but I was a Farrell's ice cream parlor waitress here. That was, when you think about going back in time, in 2013, the city worked to bring forward a redevelopment plan for Metrocenter. And you think about then, we were in the middle, at least for Arizona, we were still in the middle of the Great Recession. We were still trying to get ourselves turned around. But I think about the work that the mayor and the city council did to diversify the economy, to make us rethink what we wanted with our city. And we've really seen the benefits of that under Mayor Gallego's leadership, first as a councilwoman and then as mayor for the city with Councilman O'Brien and Thelda Williams before her. We have succeeded in changing the face of Phoenix, in the jobs we attract, in the knowledge economy, in our average wage that we have here in the community. We are diversifying and moving forward, and nowhere more so than our old malls. So we look at Metrocenter. I got to the city of Phoenix in 2014. Chris hates it when I tell this story. Chris Anderson, where are you? There he is, right in front. So I'd been here about 3 weeks. Chris and I had just come off a really hard redevelopment project over a couple of years previous to that. And I called Chris and said, what do you think about doing Metrocenter? And he asked me if I drank at work. And I told him that wasn't very friendly. And we chatted about it, and he assured me that it just wasn't the right time for Metrocenter. And over the next number of years, we brought 25 additional developers to Metrocenter that either wanted to do something that the city didn't want them to do. They talked a good game, but we couldn't find any experience that they had. We really worked diligently to bring the right developer in. And then Jeff Stapleton. Jeff, where are you? Jeff Stapleton on my team and I. So I get all the compliments. Jeff Stapleton is really the brains behind the outfit with Metrocenter. So if you join me in giving him a round of applause. A gentleman named Mr. Steve Sarang came in to meet with us, and he had interest in Metrocenter. Now, mind you, Jeff and I met with 25 developers up until now. And Steve came in, and when Steve left the meeting, Mr. Sarang, I looked at Jeff and said, we just met the redeveloper of Metrocenter. There is nobody else. We have to work with him. It came full circle because the partner he brought in was Chris Anderson. So my first call on Metrocenter and Mr. Sarang ended up being the partners we're moving forward 26 developers later. We are so thrilled for the opportunity to get to work with you to see Metrocenter take on its next new life. And while it's wonderful about Metrocenter, but it's about the surrounding community. It's about what this project will do to elevate the entire Metro District. And I think what I'm looking most forward to is seeing the community come back to the Metrocenter, to see the community's face when it sees these beautiful buildings, the connected trails, the places to dine, and I get to see Metrocenter back in her grandeur. So I thank you all so much for the opportunity. Mr. Sarang, the city is forever grateful for your vision, for your passion, for your commitment. There isn't one thing we've asked you to do that you didn't say, that's in the best interest of the city and the project. Let's do that. And so as a partner, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. I've already messed up my job. I'd like to welcome Chris Anderson with Hines to the stage. Chris and I have a long and storied past in seeming to only work on really challenging projects, and he is a developer who can get stuff done. So it is my honor to introduce you to Chris Anderson.
I'm going to move this up a little bit because everyone's a little shorter than I am, and I appreciate it. My name is Chris Anderson. I'm a Senior Managing Director for Hines here in Phoenix. I oversee all of our development operations here. And first of all, I just have to say thank you to Steve Sarang for actually inviting us to come be a part of this. Steve and I met long ago in downtown Phoenix when I was working on the Adeline, which many of you may have known on 3rd Street in Jefferson. And that was a very complicated project at the time, which is why I told Chris Mackey, Metrocenter, not right now. And we completed that project, but Steve called me and said, hey, I got a great opportunity, what do you think? And then I asked him if he drinks at work, to which he said no. And then the rest is history. We ended up forging a partnership. So our role in this is we're really helping him on the development side, but really more on the construction management and just day-to-day operations things. His team is really the visionary of this, and I give him all the credit there. I also, a good friend of mine, Bill Olson, who used to work with way back when, he's now on the team with Concord, and I tease Bill because I actually think he was the stunt double in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I think he actually is Bill. And there's a photo that we found of him in high school, and if you look at it, there's a strong resemblance. Strong resemblance. So you know, I think he must have been around this mall quite a bit when he was there. I didn't have the pleasure of growing up here, but I did come to college here at ASU, so I remember kind of traipsing around here in the 90s, and this place was just the place to be. And you know, our goal in this whole development is to again make that happen again, make this the place to be. And I think we have tremendous opportunity with all the resources that are here. The city has been wonderful partners. I can't say enough about the leadership, about the economic development program, Chris Mackey, you know, Councilwoman O'Brien, Mayor. You all have just been wonderful to work with, and these are very challenging, and these are challenging times to get deals financed and done, but the tenacity of this team, there's just there's a no-quit attitude in this team. So really excited to be a part of it, and hopefully, like I said, in the next coming few months here, you guys are going to see some real progress of things coming down and the whole transformation of this area, which we're all very excited about. So with that, Mr. Betts.
I'm not quite as tall as Chris. So I get to sort of wrap this up and do a bit of an unveil with Bill. So my memories, so I came here in '82 from Chicago, and a lot of you know I'm a car guy, and my memories of Metrocenter was cruising the Loop Road, right? So I would come out with whatever vehicle I had that particular year and cruise around on a Saturday night, and which hopefully we'll still have the opportunity to do, but just cruising around a different village in the future. But so look, so I was involved for quite some time in the redevelopment of Park Central Mall, which is our first mall, but a very different redevelopment that Chris Mackey and I worked on with a different development team, and there we're repurposing some existing buildings and then developing the parking lot land. So when Mr. Shrang and I first started talking about this project, this is a completely different ballgame. And as I said earlier, not for the faint of heart to take on any mall development. Anywhere across the country, these projects are being now taken on by different development teams. And this one, huge challenge, but huge opportunity. When you look at this project, and our city friends have sort of intimated this a little bit, but in developer parlance, this is a TOD opportunity sort of on steroids, if you think about it. If you look at our light rail system and how with this elevated light rail station coming into it, and what that light rail station, as the mayor sort of talked about, what that light rail line connects to in terms of Midtown and downtown Phoenix and all those cultural and sports opportunities, all those jobs, and then to the airport and to Tempe and to Mesa, and the opportunity for young people or anyone with a job in that corridor to be able to hop on that light rail. It's an incredible opportunity. But don't just think that direction. We also have that TOD opportunity to the north, because with the help of Chris and her team and city officials and their vision and what they've done now up to the north with TSMC, with all of those supplier plants to TSMC around that, we have now the opportunity to have rapid transit bus connectivity to the north. That's just 12 minutes up the freeway to TSMC against traffic, and a wonderful opportunity if you're, again, a worker wanting to live in this village with wonderful town center, park, and amenities, to hop on a rapid transit bus and 15 minutes be at a wonderful job up in the North Desert. And so this TOD opportunity is truly remarkable. And this is an urban village. If you people have traveled or seen images of Europe, think of it as a European village, that kind of scale, where you have this sort of mid-rise scale around an urban core, an urban village that is at the right scale with that kind of park and park amenities and with some retail around it. But we're setting it into a place that today has wonderful amenities around it, with all the retail that we have up along Peoria today, with a wonderful park right across the freeway, on the other side of the freeway, with the canalscape improvements that we currently have, that we have the ability to maybe improve a little bit. And so we have great amenities all the way around us today that we're plopping this wonderful residential urban village in the center of. And so this is just from a developer perspective, from what Mr. Shrang and Chris and Heinz are going to be taking on here, it really is a dream come true. But we needed a lot of help from the city to make this happen, because taking down this structure, removing the spaghetti of infrastructure underneath, putting in new spaghetti of infrastructure, putting in all of the horizontal improvements, and then finally getting to build the residential product around it, it's quite a challenge. And it will take a challenge for the next couple of years. But I think it's something that we're all going to be very, very proud of. And last thing I would say, attainable housing. It's something we so need in this community, that we have this, again, for all the leadership of this city and this community, we have a wonderful tidal wave of jobs that is coming to the valley with all of these technology manufacturing jobs, but we've got to house them. We don't want to run into the problem that Seattle's having. Seattle, again, they had the embarrassment of riches 10, 15 years ago. They didn't get out ahead of it with housing. We've got to get out ahead of this, and this kind of project is exactly what we need for getting out ahead of this job tidal wave that we have coming ahead of us. So with that, Bill, we're going to sort of do a bit of an unveil, and then we're going to do a walk and allow people to walk down memory lane. Taking this side? Okay. Do the bottom. Bill, do you want to tell people anything about this?
This is a rendering of the Grand Park, looking at a oblique angle, looking generally in a easterly direction. Park in the center, and thank you. The park in the center with splash pad and a number of things like the amphitheater, grass area for kids to play, shade areas, and then wrapped around it the different multifamily and condominium projects, all with about 86,000 square feet of retail, bar, maybe even some office and restaurant opportunity. Also in the tenant mix is a theater concept for the project as well. A number of multifamily development firms have expressed a great deal of interest in the project, and we have a number of people lined up and look forward as we get through our demolition and site development process to moving into the development of what you see here today. It will be spectacular.
Bill, you might point to the light rail right there.
The elevated light rail, which is over there as we're oriented here on the east side of the project, comes in, sweeps in, and then goes back downtown, midtown, downtown, through Tempe and out to the East Valley. And there will eventually be an expansion of the light rail along I-17, I presume, going north. And that's long-term vision. Exactly. There is also a, behind us here, if we could rotate the image, we've got a hotel that will be part of the development as well. Anything else that you're remembering that I'm not? Great.
Okay, with that, are there any questions before we move to the back? We're going to invite the officials up for a photo with the image, and then we're kind of on a pretty tight time frame here, so we have just a couple minutes to come up for a photo. Then everyone grab something to drink, because it is still a little warm in here. Grab something to drink, and we're going to meet at the stairs in 5 minutes, and we're going to start our memory lane tour walk